Hey everybody, this is Aaron's Aero Striker V2 from LEGO NEXO Knights. Here I've put the two figures in place, so Aaron goes here and a bot goes back here. And you can see that the whole thing is inspired by the design of a crossbow, like a handheld small crossbow. And in fact, speaking of handheld, it is literally designed to be held in the hand of a huge figure like myself or you. Make sure that bot stays in place. And it has a trigger over here that allows you to shoot with the thing. So you can just fly it like this, makes it very, very swishable. And you can use it as a proper weapon. Pulling back here, which actually activates the two spring-loaded shooters on the underside, and it will shoot one of them at a time. They're just slightly offset, so as you pull this, it pulls against the rubber bushing over here, gives it a little bit of springiness, and the first shot goes off, and then pull a little bit harder, a little bit farther, and the second shot goes off. So that works really well. All this handle stuff back here, though, I really feel takes away from the look of this as a minifig scaled thing and brings it more into the realm of a toy, you know, kind of like a Nerf kind of thing. And that makes me think that it would be really, really cool if LEGO actually did a line of, you know, Nerf crossbow kind of competition that was really done for us humans to use. But this is kind of in between the two. I like the idea, but I wish it had gone just further in one direction or the other. Or it would have been nice to maybe be able to take some of this stuff off back here to make it look more minifig specific. Just my personal opinions. Overall, the thing looks really cool though, especially from the front. I like the use of these corner castle panel pieces, which work really well with these corner small panel pieces, the 90-degree ones with, you know, they're basically 2x2 with the square hole in the middle, and the sides on two sides just fills it in very well, gives it a nice look with the engines, and I think goes well with the overall geometry of the whole thing. These are relatively new parts over here, which are used to good effect. I really like how I guess that's just the blaster section there, with a couple of cannons, how that's built up. It's simple, it's not too many parts, but it looks really cool. And then you also have this over here, which does not physically shoot, but I think it looks really good, and I like how it's designed. It gives you a lot of range of motion, and it looks just really, really good. There's so few pieces to be used. So there's a lot of really clever stuff that went into the design of this. A little bit cramped with the main cockpit here. If you leave the backpack on Aaron himself, it's just supposed to represent a small display there. The little bot at the back sits with his feet just facing forward towards a couple of studs on the side there, and you do have spots, as with most of the NEXO Knights stuff, to actually put your figure accessories. So Aaron's shield goes here and his bow goes over here. Those are the exhausts for the engines, and that pretty much does it for this build. Or does it? No. Anytime you see multiple figures in a LEGO vehicle in completely different places, that's usually a hint that the thing can be split into multiple parts. And in this case, the center section just pulls straight out. It is just clipped in the back right there, and all of this just slides right on out. And now you have two separate flyers. So the bot can fly most of the thing here, which includes the actual spring-loaded shooters, and then Aaron can just fly around in this kind of scout. But it does have the cannons right there. It doesn't physically shoot, but it does have those nice large cannons. Really, really tiny little winglets though, so I'm not sure just how much flying he can do at reasonable speeds. It looks like something that would have to be shot off at you know, kind of a breakneck initial velocity, and then it would just glide on its own to get to a specific target. But you know, use your imagination a little bit here, but they do allow you to play with two separate things with one set. Here's one thing that I almost missed. You can actually take the bow from Aaron and place it over here and use that as a secondary kind of turret. So this one over here doesn't shoot. This one actually can shoot because it has that little bolt shooter built into it. It's just another option. Wow, that literally traveled across the entire room and didn't even lose that much altitude. These things really work very well. When you do that, you can now use this over here, one of these spare areas, to hold on to one of the spare bolts used for the main shooter down below. Here's a closer look at Aaron and his Aaron bot there. I like these bots more and more and more as we get more different variants of them. They just change out the colors and sometimes the weapons, but definitely the single printed tile there on the front. But I'm really liking them more and more. They just have more personality to them as you get to see more different variations. Aaron gets the little bit of a backpack extension there to allow him to hold on to an extra bolt for his bow, and the bow can be held vertically like this, or if you want to, if you choose, you can turn it horizontally to use it more like a crossbow. Either of those is perfectly valid and fine. Let me look at just him for a second. This will actually shoot. Of course, the little bolt there in the front can be shot out. That works quite very well. So you get a total of 2 of these in the set, and it is time to take some stuff off so you can see more of the details. There we go. That's much better. Good printing along the front to go with the graphic style of NEXO Knights. I like their use of the more neon kind of styles of color choices, and also some metallic printing in there. And that's a pretty good face with just a little bit of freckling that kind of is a little bit of a throwback, I feel, to the first freckled minifigure from, I want to say, the mid-1990s. His secondary face is really good, and the bot, of course, gets his secondary face as well. On the monsters side, this set only includes one single figure, but it is a winged ash attacker, so this is able to actually fly, and if he's fast enough, he might be able to, do a little bit of kind of harassing damage to small systems on the Aero striker, and actually present some sort of challenge or some sort of impediment that would make it reasonable to fight against the striker. He does have a crossbow of his own, which is also able to shoot out. This one shoots the stud or tile pieces. Like this is just a tile here, a round tile. Those shoot out quite perfectly, actually. And beneath this, it's just a regular ash attacker. So they just added on the bracket piece. He has the same normal 2 faces and full printing on the back of the torso. Lastly, here are the 2 NEXO powers included with the set. On the left is Ice Rain, and on the right is Target Blaster. So it's interesting the way they added that big handle onto this Aero Striker V2 with just so much emphasis on handling it, for humans to actually grab the thing and use it practically as a weapon, as a full-sized weapon. And I do wish that they had just kind of chosen a little bit more, maybe even for the entire theme, to stick to just more of the minifig scaled stuff, with more of the discrete shooting and action features, or gone completely in this direction here, putting targets onto vehicles and structures and such, and making all of them more like this, more intended to be used in the hands, more hands-on grabbing things, and just with more ergonomics that are designed to be more specifically for humans than for the minifigs. Let me know what you think about that and the set on a whole. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.